Morning, everyone. Virgo Triad here. It is January 16th, 2018. And this morning I'm bringing to you an exclusive interview that has been granted by Brian T. Currier, Cindy Currier's younger brother. This interview is full of questions that have been asked by commenters in addition to myself and a couple of other individuals that have been reading other blog sites, and I will be listing those sites once again in the description. Now, Brian has been very forthright in providing family photos and those types of things to us that you will see in videos on this channel in order to attempt to validate that he indeed is Cindy's brother. So please take a look at those videos also if you have any question as to what information Brian is providing and has provided in the past. So without further ado, Brian T. Currier on Cindy Currier's disappearance. Good morning, Brian. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing very well, thank you.
Good. For everyone who's listening to this interview, who we have online right now is Brian T. Currier. He's Cindy Currier's younger brother. And Brian, do you want to kind of introduce yourself and give us just a little bit of a hello?
Well, okay. I Cindy's younger brother, as I mentioned, 2 years younger than her. So kind of grew up in her shadow a little bit as we grew up as children. Um, we lived in a fairly normal house, a religious upbringing, parents who loved us. I went on and became a firefighter, just recently retired. Um,
Awesome.
and Cindy has chosen her own path as she has, so then I think many people might be more familiar with her path, but that gives you kind of a brief idea of the kind of person that I am or what I've done.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start. We've got about nine or 10 questions here that have been coming from commenters and other individuals that have emailed me that just would like to have an update on what your feeling is with regards to these things on Cindy. I know a lot of people are very concerned about the fact that she pulled down all of her social media sites and her YouTube account. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and get started with those. And if you can answer what you can, that would be very helpful for those of us that are concerned for her.
Very good.
Okay, great. Was the recent discovery of Cindy's YouTube channel and social media sites the first time that you've had the opportunity to comment to her directly in a while, or?
In a while, yeah. It was actually um, being made aware of her YouTube and internet presence provided the first opportunity in probably 10 years for me to have any type of interaction with her. And it was, of course, kind of limited to just a comment section. When she did finally begin allowing comments, I took an opportunity to do that. But, that's been the first time in about 10 years. There had been some email contact that she had gotten a bit unpleasant and insisted that I not contact her again. So
I see.
that's kind of how that went. Now, I did begin to make some comments, and I'm quite confident that if she saw them, she certainly would have known that they were for me because I identified myself as her younger brother, Brian, so I didn't leave any question for her.
Oh,
And
so
my
she knew
writing
for sure
style,
then.
pardon?
So she did know for sure then that it was you.
Yeah, absolutely. And, my writing style is such that I think she would have been able to pick up on that as well and know that I really am, who she says that I am.
Right, right.
And, this type of thing, we haven't really had this type of interaction in the past. It's been a smaller scale, I mean, she's kind of, been one or two people at a time when we were growing up, that she would pick on and try to influence and bully around and make do what she wanted, and then I'd kind of run behind her and and try to help these people that not be so hurt by what had gone on. But now she's got a larger audience using the internet, and so suddenly I'm finding myself in a situation where I want to try to find a way to address a larger number of people, maybe prevent them from getting hurt the way others have gotten hurt in the past.
Yeah, I can certainly understand your concern there. Just, based on what you're saying, has Cindy ever been diagnosed professionally with any mental illnesses or any imbalances that you know of in the past?
Um, yes, that has been the case. A little reluctant to get too specific, in this environment. I do know that there's some that I can say because she has included information in her book that she wrote that explains some of this. So I feel fairly comfortable discussing some of it. Others, I will draw the line and not go too far.
Okay.
Now, as far as that goes, it was her time at Taylor University. It was the first time I'm aware of that her mental health was questioned by a professional. We're growing up, church, school, things like that. There were always people kind of wondering about her behavior.
Right.
And those questions a lot of times would turn to mental health, but I don't think there really were any professionals that were digging into her until her time at Taylor University.
Okay.
She's had problems with it being questioned subsequent to that. She's had employers that have told her that she was going to lose her job if she didn't seek mental health help, that they couldn't keep her employed. And, so it's been kind of an ongoing thing. And, she had been married, and I know she had gotten institutionalized at least once as a result of frankly, her physical abuse of her husband. He finally got kind of tired of it and got her some help as a means of protecting himself.
I understand. Okay. Well, you mentioned that you had verified that Cindy had not been arrested. I would like to know, and several of the followers that are on my channel also would like to know, how extensive that actual search was, and were there any mental health facilities or hospitals that had been searched?
None of her family, excuse me, was involved in an active search of that nature. Our parents and I did discuss it to a point, the pros and the cons. But in terms of knowing that she's not been arrested, that kind of became pretty obvious when there were repeated text messages and phone calls received from her cell phone to my parents' cell phone. So it was obviously her voice and obviously her cell phone number. And, when you get arrested, you have to use the prison phone. So
right.
It seems that it's pretty clear that she's not been arrested and does still have access to her devices. And, we've seen other things. We've seen a couple of videos pop up under different names that appear that they could very well be her. And I think that kind of supports the belief that she's not been arrested, not been kidnapped by anyone, is not under anybody else's control.
Right.
But that is kind of regrouping and getting ready for whatever this next phase of her life is likely to be.
Right. And it's interesting that you mentioned the other videos too, because I had actually listed a few of those videos that were provided to me by other commenters. And so, I'm thinking that you're right in that area.
Now,
go
if
ahead.
you don't mind me also pointing out, she's made it kind of clear that she doesn't want to be found by her family. She's clearly said, "Don't call me. You'll learn more about me when I decide you will learn more about me."
I see.
So it's been something. She's made it pretty clear she does not want any unsolicited contact at this point from anyone.
I got it. Okay. All right. Has anyone by any chance searched any of the RV parks in the area where she last lived in? I mean, I know you kind of said that you just had done a brush over of search for her since she was the one who stated she didn't really want to be found. But just that was another commenter's question, so I wanted to make sure that was in there.
Well, I certainly think um, for a person who was determined to find her, I think that would be a sensible place to look.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think it might be also potentially likely. I mean, she could have parked her RV at a follower's home or property. So, I mean, a worthwhile thing to check, sure, might not necessarily provide any real information, but in terms of family, no, none of us have searched any of the RV parks.
Okay. All right. I realize this might be a little bit of a difficult question, but I'm going to ask it because it was specifically asked of me to ask. And so feel free to let me know if it's something that's getting a little bit too deep into your personal family life. But um,
Okay.
did Cindy and your older brother David work together on this national law business? Cece had mentioned in one of the threads that David was a Luciferian, and Cindy, we wondered whether she was involved in that at all with him.
Um, as far as excuse me, as far as I know, David and Cindy did not work together at all on any of this natural law handbook, any of the stuff that Cindy has been doing in the last couple of years.
Hmm.
Um, Quite frankly, Cindy had pretty thoroughly burned David over the years, and to a point that he had pretty much lost patience with her. I mean, they were trying to help her. He and his second wife trying to help her get a website going for her psychology practice.
Uh-huh.
And this was free help she was getting, but it wasn't coming fast enough for her, so she got all mad. They weren't dropping absolutely everything to help her.
I see.
So at that point, they just said, you know what, we're done with you. And that was back in 2011. And
Wow.
since is not yet um, off in the tangent that she's currently on. So I think um, I think it's pretty safe to say that um, David and Cindy were not involved in any of this. And in terms of the the Luciferian question, it's been my understanding that David had turned away from that, um, boy, 20 years ago or so, 15, 20, quite a while ago, put it that way.
Okay.
And that would have been long before Cindy was getting this extreme with the stuff that she was doing, her astral plane cosmonaut and all of that.
Right.
There does seem to be some overlap between them, but I don't think that they were working together to advance any of this.
Okay. Okay. All right. Many of the individuals who've asked questions are having a really hard time understanding your parents' reluctance to just call Cindy if they are so worried. And many feel that um, perhaps they seem to be almost afraid of her. Why do you think this would be? Or is this just an incorrect assumption?
Well, part of the challenge it comes when you're dealing with someone who is mentally ill, has some problems of stability. When you're dealing with that type of a person, you kind of have to be a little careful of how you deal with them.
Right.
The wrong move can bring about behavior or reactions that aren't at all what you were after.
Right.
So you often will tend to step pretty carefully, and when a person has a history of physical violence against others or even herself, you can understand why you'd want to be a little careful. You don't want to shove somebody into doing something.
Absolutely.
That, but now as for me, I haven't been afraid of Cindy since I was probably 8 years old. I'm kind of more of a pragmatist, and I don't happen to think that her state of mental health is going to be changed appreciably by having interaction with me. I don't think I'm going to make her worse. Don't think I'm going to make her better. It just, I happen to be there.
Right, right.
And it, and when you read on the internet and stuff, you do find plenty of people who seem to be afraid of her, but no, I'm not at all.
Right. Well,
it's just she kind of enjoys being worshipped and feared. And so for her, there's a place for these people that are afraid of her, but it's not me.
well, and I can understand you, kind of speaking out on your parents' behalf also, and being concerned about them. So, now you mentioned in one of the threads that you commented on that Cindy had an ex-husband. Did they have children?
No children.
And about how
Yeah,
long was that marriage?
they were married probably around 10 years, and it probably seems strange to you that I say, around 10 years, but Cindy had forbade our parents from telling us that he had divorced her.
Oh,
Now, I'm not quite sure how she thought that we could go to Thanksgiving and Christmas and not notice that he wasn't there, but somehow in her mind, this wasn't to be talked about at all.
I see.
Yeah, so I think they were divorced for probably 2 years or so before I was told they were divorced.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Yeah,
All right. But no children.
no children at all.
No children. Okay. Has Cindy ever disappeared like this for this length of time before that you're aware of? Just in general, I don't mean just from the family.
Um, yeah, kind of like this. Yeah, I'd say this is not unusual for her.
Okay.
Yeah, to kind of have a bit of a break from reality and then just take off on her own and spend a little time figuring out, what she wants to do or what her next life calling is. That's, she's had this history of life callings. I kind of, I don't know. I don't know how you could have multiple life callings in your life, but she seems to have them every once in a while.
I see.
And so it hasn't been uncommon, she'll disappear, we won't know where she's at or whatever, and then all of a sudden here she comes. I found my life calling it. This is what it is, and so it doesn't seem all that strange, it's not that peculiar because we've watched it all
Happened
happen
before.
before, and so yeah, we look at it and say, okay, well she's gonna pop back up sometime. Don't know if she's going to be the queen of queens when she comes back. I mean,
Okay.
my guess is she's going to resurface as somebody a little bit different than who she was when she took down her web presence. That would be my guess.
How long do you think in the past has she gone without contacting your parents? What's the longest length of time?
It's a little difficult to answer that, but if I had to take a guess at it, and keep in mind, please, this is a guess.
Okay.
I would guess the longest probably in the vicinity of a year and a half to 2 years.
Okay.
But that's just a guess, and I can't tell you that I know that's absolutely fact.
Okay. Well, no, your best guess was perfect. That gives everybody kind of an idea of the approximate length of time, and that a few short months is not all that abnormal. It doesn't sound like.
No, it's certainly nothing that would get us too concerned.
Okay. Do you feel that this disappearance is somewhat of a, for lack of a better word, a stunt maybe that she's using to get some additional attention, or do you feel something else is really at play here? And I'm asking this question, and I don't mean to be abrasive about it. It's just that there are a tremendous number of people that are actually very concerned about her.
Well, the question about it possibly being a stunt,
Mm-hmm.
that would not be out of character.
Okay.
I don't happen to think that that's what's going on right now. It's my opinion that this is something different, but it wouldn't really be out of character for her to do that. Now, if it is a stunt, I wouldn't expect it to last very long. Um, you know, it's, like I said, I don't think this one is. And you know, when when she first pulled down her web presence and stuff, I
Mm-hmm.
wondered, quite honestly, you know, if maybe she had been arrested because of this airship bank stuff, you know, issuing airship notes that had no assets to back them. You know,
Okay.
I mean, that can kind of get you in trouble with the law.
You would think,
And
yes.
yeah, and there were people, you know, claiming online to have bought some of these, and there were people who claimed that they had, you know, sent her their social security numbers and signed contracts with her and stuff. And so I looked at that and thought, boy, you know, maybe she got picked up. They may have had enough of this.
Uh-huh.
You know, the phone calls have left me pretty confident that she has not been picked up either by law enforcement or by somebody who's angry at her. But you know, I considered that a real possibility.
Yeah, I understand. I can understand that. Well,
You know,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
you know, so right now I really think that she's kind of regrouping. I don't think she's been real comfortable having been challenged.
Oh, okay.
You know, a lot of her followers, you know, they'll anything Cindy says, oh, this is great.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, she began allowing comments, and I realize I'm not the only person that has commented, but generally through her life, she has found me to be very troublesome.
I
You know,
see.
but
Yeah.
seems to feel an enmity toward me,
So
and
then you're referring to the
I
commenting on her YouTube channel and her social media, right?
yes, I began commenting on there and identifying myself. You know, I wasn't going to hide who I was, but I was
Right.
happy to challenge her out on the dishonesty. You
Uh-huh.
know, but honesty is kind of a big deal to me, and I think it's important that if someone is going to choose to follow someone, that they know whether or not they're an honest person.
Right.
And if you know, if you've seen videos full of lies, I think it's important to challenge the people. So wait a minute, we know this isn't true.
Right.
Why are you saying it?
Right. Right.
And I thought that was important, and it wouldn't surprise me if that had some impact on her deciding to disappear.
I see. Well, Brian, I sure appreciate you answering the questions that the commenters and the people who emailed me with questions have had here, and been so forthright about it. Let me just ask you, since you have the open forum of my YouTube channel to use right now in this interview, what would you like to say, if anything, to any of Cindy's followers?
Um, well, my message to them would be very simple. Please verify what she claims, verify what she tells you, apply some critical thinking to it, evaluate it on the basis of science and logic and reason. You know, I mean, she's been lying to her followers for years now, and if she really wanted to help people, which is what she claims she wants to do, she wouldn't be lying to people. She wouldn't be telling them things that weren't true. She wouldn't mislead people. She wouldn't deceive them. But she makes all these outrageous, dishonest claims, and that should be enough to cue people in that this may not really be the answer that I'm looking for. This may not be the person I should be following. And so, yeah, I mean, Cindy can be kind of compelling when she decides to manipulate people. You know, that's the sugar sweet demeanor that you see on these videos where she acts like this sweet little aunt that you always got candy from when you were a child. But that's not been the Cindy that I've ever known, and that most people who have met her in person don't meet that Cindy. That
Okay.
Cindy is trying to manipulate you. So please don't fall for the manipulation. Keep your mind strong and think through what she's saying. And when you see lies, that is a cue to break away, you know, from her and find a different path either on your own or find someone who's willing to be honest with you. But, you know, please don't give her money. You know, I mean, claims that the RV she's got was given to her as a result of online solicitations, and the same with this office that she had in New York. You know, if you send her money, you're just kind of feeding the ego and feeding her delusions, and that's not going to help her or anybody else. So that would be the message I would share with people. Please evaluate stuff with a clear mind. Figure out whether it's true. Don't follow people who lie to you.
Brian, I want to thank you very much for taking the time to talk to me today, and for getting your message out to the people that have taken a look and followed along with the disappearance on Cindy. And again, just please take care and take care of your parents. And you know, hope to be able to talk with you again maybe in the future, and maybe things will be looking up a little bit more for you and your family.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that, and you know, I appreciate the help that you've done in trying to gather together some information on Cindy, and I look forward to anything else that you're able to share.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Brian. Have a great day.
Well, thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, there you have it there, everyone. The exclusive interview with Brian T. Currier this morning. Hope everyone got some useful information from the family's perspective out of that. And once again, I hope everyone has a great day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and please share this video to anyone that would be interested or is concerned with regards to the disappearance of Cindy K. Currier.